Good morning. Good Monday. How you doing? It's been quite a weekend. Thank you guys for allowing me ever so slightly prolonged vacation with the fam. It was much needed and a joy on all fronts. We had major shenanigans, lots of long dog walks in the woods, and we had multiple Thanksgiving dinners. That was a good time. Um, and whoops, did that work? There we go. Why? Yeah, all right. There we go. And just it was just party rocking. That's what we were doing. How you guys doing? How was your Thanksgiving? That's what I want to know. Did you have one? Did you enjoy it? Was it a good time had by all? All right, let me get my chat in order so I can. I don't know why the chat just bugged out for a second. There you go. Oh, did that work? Oh yeah. Now I've got to do. I turned off all my gear while I was gone, and uh, hilariously enough, I it didn't occur to me. Yeah, until such time as I was setting stuff up this morning, and um, and I was like, oh dear, oh dear, I probably have to. Oh, get over yourself. How many? Oh my gosh, how many bot things do I have to go through? All right, now my chat's up. Good lord, that was the most captchas I've ever had to go through in one sitting. Hi everybody, bonjour, ça va bien? How did you guys know I had a French Thanksgiving? Huh. So you guys been spying on me. Yeah, my cousin Bridget, we went to her house for Thanksgiving proper this year, and she speaks French, as does my cousin Jérôme, and and so around the house they're trying to get the kids to speak French again, and I have to say it. You know, some of you know that I've been toying with dusting off my French in the near future, and so I've decided to like kick it into high gear. That was very inspiring. Yeah. 5 p.m. Welcome, Deb. Hi. So the mornings thing I mean is no insult. If you're in a different time zone, if you're if you're a general meantime citizen of the earth, don't take offense. Hi everybody, welcome. Good to see you. Tuna sandwich for Thanksgiving? All right, sure. As long as you were thankful for it, it works. Oui, ça va très bien. De rien. Uh, yeah. So it was good times overall. Thank you. Say something. Je parle français comme un vache espagnol. Um, teasing us with low cut your. Oh yeah, well, I have to do laundry, so I was down to my and it's getting long sleeve weather even here. Hey, a hype train! Look at that. That's lovely. Thank you guys so much. Obviously, um, I like anybody else who doesn't get paid family leave. You are my boss, no pressure. But I don't get paid family leave on when you're a live streamer or when you do stand up or even acting. Quite frankly, um, everybody just doesn't work. No actors that I know of. Is it different with Broadway? Maybe. I doubt it though. I do not speak spinach. It's a little bit. I know my P's and Q's. Oh, look at that, a level 2 hype trade. So yeah, so I don't no, I don't speak Spanish. It seemed to like when you live in LA, speaking Spanish is like bowing to the man. Oh, thanks. I'm glad I'm très cool. It's been hoodie weather in PA for yes, I don't doubt it. Thank you, and thanks for the welcome back, guys. Look at that, 100 messages in the Restream chat right out of the gate. Restream is giving me little mini awards. You can see that I got a little. It's we have so much to catch up on. I don't know where I'm going to start this week. with the just absolute collapse of the Mike Pillow thing. Just, uh, and he did it all from that stupid studio. He didn't even, have the decency to rent out a venue in Wisconsin or Montana or Pennsylvania or some shit and stand on a stage for 3 hours. Yeah, it's just, oy. Thank you so much, Christina, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Welcome back, Hal. We missed you. Well, I missed you guys as well. I sincerely did. And just it was nice, I have to say. I think, interestingly enough, because we did a best of on the radio show, which I rarely do, and I've only done twice during the entire pandemic. And having that ability to like get up on a Saturday morning and go have brunch with my kid. They have where my dad lives, there's like this kind of 9-hole golf course nearby, and they have a clubhouse that everybody in the area belongs to, so you can go there. It's like a little breakfast place, because they're in the sticks. Level 3 hype train, thank you guys so much. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm sure we dropped subscribers too during, I go away for a few days and everybody forgets about me. It's just sad. Mike Pillow was tearing up at the end of it. The man is in a breakdown. And like I said, I used to feel sorry for him, and now I'm like, no, he's a jerk. Oh, and the Linwood audio. We'll do that this afternoon. Oh, boy. With the Mike Flynn stuff. Although there's debate about whether the texts are real. I don't know how much I trust Linwood, but the audio sounds legit. Yeah, they just ran reruns at a certain point. Are you going to do the Fauci interview? The 60-minute one? Probably not. The airports weren't crazy busy. Although I was coming and going from, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was in 8 airports this weekend. And and a decent amount of driving in between spaces as well. And Atlanta was very busy, a lot of traffic. Planes were very full, but it wasn't like there was just this crush at the actual airport. It was interesting. And maybe that's just the factor of them spacing people out. Yes, masks are required on planes. Oh, thanks. The pics of your dad and your boy were so sweet. Yeah, I don't post pictures of my kid's face for obvious reasons. So when you see him, you'll see his hair and him walking someplace and that kind of stuff. But when it's, me and my dad, what I've decided I'm going to do is post like pictures of my kid that are like 6 years old, where he doesn't even look like that anymore. Right. That I feel like is safe in the grand scheme of things. But the only tough part we had was Cam and I had a connecting flight in Atlanta, and it was, one of those like 45 minutes between flights. Doesn't sound bad, right? But the flight we landed on was in the F terminal, and our flight took off in the B terminal, and we literally were the last people to get on the plane, and we were walking at a healthy clip the entire way. Like the minute we got off the airplane, we were just trucking, not running, but we were making doing kind of, prancer size walking. We were speed walking, and literally I wanted to, and we didn't even have seats assigned, which is really the suckiest part of holiday travel, man. I'll be in Vegas next week. First time in a plane since the pandemic started. It's it's an adventure, I gotta say. I hate the U.S. hub system. A rush or too long. Glad Canada's population is basically linear. Yeah, you guys got a lot of land and not a lot of people. It's certainly easier to do it that way. But yeah, there was a lot of trucking around. Well, hi, buddy. Look who came to say hi. Look at who's here. Look at who's here. What's going on, buddy? Look who wanted to come say hi. Look who came in. It's Chipster. Hi, buddy. Did you get enough to eat this morning? Did you have breakfast? Did you? Because I fixed you breakfast. Did you eat it? Did you have a whole fluffy? Hello. We'll be with you in a moment. Did you have fishy face? You have fishy face right now. It's Chip. Yes, this is Chip. He's getting so long. Look at his belly. Chip on my shoulder. I got a chip on my shoulder. I know. You want to get down? You want to run around and bite things? Okay, go ahead. Just. Oh, he went out and attacked something. I don't know what it is. Yeah, he missed me. He was waiting by the door. It was cute when I got home. Although Summer was coming home at the same time, so I can't take 100% credit. It could have been just, everybody's gone. When's anybody coming back? Oh, they both came back. Oh, that's cool. All right. Anyways. Still good. Yeah, he's going to keep growing, yeah. We've been talking about like getting a serval or a Maine Coon, like one of those giant cats. If once 3 of our cats age out of existence, we're gonna end up getting one of those giant domesticated cats. He could sit in a cat tree while you talk to us, and he could stay longer and do hilarious things to your backside. This is true, Foggy. He absolutely could. Hi, Carl. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Stargal, for gifting subscriptions. That's really awesome. Level 4 hype train. Already in the morning. Look, it's almost like it's not even a morning show. And for all the wailing and gnashing of teeth around around the oh my god variant, the OMG variant, which is what I'm calling it. After Mike Lindell claimed millions of people were watching his Thanksgiving webcast, YouTube metrics show only about 90 people tuned in. That's just glorious. Hold on, let's see if I can. My stuff should be up and running. As far as green screen is a good comms. There we go. This guy right here. Ouch. That's a rough one. Shall we check our trends for this morning? See what kind of wake and bake we're doing. Barbados is set to remove Queen Elizabeth II as head of state. Yeah, they're going to become a republic, a constitutional republic. Look, just like us. Kamala Harris looking unelectable. Democrats are considering the nuclear option. The what? The hell are you talking about? Going to find potential successor Joe Biden in 2024, whispering about potentially could see Kamala Harris, the current VP, nominated to the Supreme Court. Oh my God, we're in the first year. Shut up. Reported. That can't be good. When the word reported. So reportedly, they reported Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey reported to be stepping down. Into a barber's chair, perhaps. I reported there's account about reporting. There's reported adverse reaction. What? Now I might be conspiracy, but the symptoms of this new variant look sufficiently reported adverse reaction vaccine. Number of heart-related complications may occur: heart failure, arrhythmias, heart inflammation, blood clots. COVID patients commonly suffer fever. The most common coronavirus symptoms. The following symptoms of the new Omicron variant of corona. It rarely causes any unusual symptoms for its carriers, and some of them are asymptomatic. The following are some of the most common. This isn't even related to this. Oh, God, people are stupid. This looks like the vaccine. This looks like the vaccine. The following are some of the most common coronavirus symptoms. The following are some of the most common coronavirus. Good God, people are stupid. Long-term effects of COVID-19 for patients with long COVID, chronic fatigue syndrome. This is an old shot. This is from his proof of life video. A woman died, was wrongly diagnosed, suffered blood clots, was initially diagnosed with gastroenteritis and inquest years. In the UK, suffered blood clots. A woman died, and this is bbc.co.uk. COVID vaccine. Woman who died was wrongly diagnosed. Woman who died from unrecognized complications after having a COVID-19 vaccine was wrongly diagnosed with gastroenteritis An inquest heard Michelle Barlow developed blood clots and died 60 days after having the AstraZeneca jab. Said the 51-year-old from Oral Wigan may have received suboptimal care. Riddington, Wigan, and Lay teaching hospitals trusted her treatment was in line with appropriate guidance. An inquest heard mother of two, Ms. Barlow, first went to Royal Albert Infirmary in Wigan with flu-like side effects on March 19th, 12 days after getting vaccine at a mass vaccination center in Robin Park. Her president Ian told her she felt fobbed off. Oh my God, I love the British. That's just it. She felt fobbed off and was discharged. Returned the next day and was admitted. Doctor suspected gastroenteritis. 3 days later, she got a phone call from a nurse telling him to get to the hospital as soon as possible. They could not do anything for her. Then two doctors came and explained. I said, "You've got to save her." Confirmation bias. Then a surgeon added, once he looked at Miss Barlow's CT scan, he concluded the blood clots were not treatable with surgery and not compatible with survival. Not compatible with survival. Yikes. What a terrible way to describe it. Yes, we find in the UK mostly, and this is according to multiple studies, that getting hit by a bus is not compatible with survival unless the bus is going less than 2 miles an hour. And then it's compatible with getting slightly irritated, spooked, and having a great story the rest of the day. Her multiple organ failure caused by blood clots was a result of vaccine-induced immune thrombotic thrombocytopenia, a condition not recognized at the time of her death. The inquest heard pathologist Dr. Naveen Sharma told the inquest that guidance about a link between AstraZeneca jab and the very rare side effect had only been recently published. And of the 24.8 million people who had at least a single dose, only 425 cases of major blood clots, had been identified. And you wonder why we don't have the AstraZeneca thing here. Check it out. Let's see. Outside usual. Said he felt relief that the vaccine's role in his wife's death had been recognized. Said the family felt stonewalled by public health officials when he raised his concern. He said he was happy and sad because she was not there. His wife got the answers that we wanted. COVID vaccine victims were forgotten heroes alongside COVID victims because lessons have been learned. I've had a close friend die of COVID, and my wife has died from the vaccine. I'm not saying don't get the vaccine. I'm saying check it out first if it's right for you. Yeah, especially the AstraZeneca one. It's one of the reasons why it didn't clear here. Let's see. So she wants to see Florida is at an all-time hospital low despite no mask vaccine. Do you know Florida is under 1,000 statewide hospitalizations in the past days for the first time since they began tracking at the beginning of April 2020? Florida is still the lowest case rate in the country and the second lowest hospitalization. And by the way, there's no vaccine mandate, but vaccines are permeate everywhere in Florida because Trump's down there, and they've been like, yeah, we hate vaccines, and yet you can get it anywhere. When I was down there for doing the Shakespeare Festival, doing Malvolio, in 12th Night, I had to get a test that day, even though I'd been vaccinated. I had to go get a test, and they have testing centers frigging everywhere, and vaccines available everywhere because everybody's old, and so they got all the old people first, and so that's what dropped the death rate. The mandate happened because of the early aspect of everybody older panicking. I don't care if he's stepping down. I mean, honest to God. George Clooney, I was on the ground thinking this is the last minute of my life. After surviving a horrific motorbike crash, turning 60 and spending lockdown with his children, faced up to his own mortality and revealing interview he talks fame. 3 years ago, it was in a motorbike crash that could have killed him. I was waiting for my switch to turn off. Turning 60 is a bummer, but it's that or dead. Yeah, don't be a dick. When you look like that when you're 60, knock it off. Seriously. Singer Ari Lennox says she was arrested in Amsterdam after reacting to being racially profiled. What? Yeah, Amsterdam. I understand you want to make it legal for all drugs in some categories. I would just say not for architects. Oh my God. Um, Hi Amsterdam. Fuck Amsterdam security. They hate black people. Fuck Amsterdam. Fuck KLM. Never in my life. Racism. How Amsterdam. Wow, Amsterdam. I'm horrified. I was so happy to travel. And this evil woman. I've never experienced racism. So good lord. For what happened? Was she getting arrested at the airport in Amsterdam because she was racially profiled by a woman working there? And she's responding. She's famous. And she's still getting arrested. Uh, Dutch military police responsible for security at Schiphol Airport said Lennox was held because of her aggressive behavior. Sounds like code. I don't know what defines the aggressive behavior. I guess would be the thing. Arrested in disturbing public order after she accused airline staff of racial discrimination. Oh, all right. Well, glad they're filling in the stories. Jesus Christ. Pass. We love Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle, please be your birthday. Thank God. Okay. It was also Chadwick Boseman's birthday. Man, that must. I mean, I have to say, during the shooting of the Avengers movies, that must have been a lovely thing for these two gentlemen to share a birthday. Cheadle's amazing. First Lady Joe Biden will unveil the Christmas decoration and with the theme of gifts from the heart and a nod to the pandemic. Volunteers spent the past week decorating the White House with 41 Christmas trees, 6,000 feet of ribbon, and 10,000 ornaments. That sounds like a great idea. I'm for it. And meanwhile, Joe is working at the post office. It's just this is just a picture of him. It looks like to make up for the DeJoy wreckage. He's volunteering to work at the at the post office. I don't care. Senator continues criticism of Pfizer following the NIAID's interview on. Yeah, of course. I mean, this is the only reason the only way Rand Paul thinks he can stay relevant is to pick a fight constantly with Fauci. It's great for his audience. Hashtag George Harrison. Is this the stuff from the Beatles thing on Disney Plus that everybody's kind of remembering? Everybody blames Yoko, but I blame facial hair for breaking up the Beatles. I don't want to hear anything from you guys about hair. I don't want to. Oh, today was the day he passed. So they're remembering him on his day. God damn, dudes in the 70s were skinny. Don Cheadle is the new Black Panther, is my hope. I don't see that happening, Luis. But if you grow a beard like that, it would fit. Yeah, you think? I could roam the earth as a. That's my theory that acid, the drug, is from planet India. And weed is from planet Jamaica. And I'm not playing any of this because I will get a copyright strike. Oh, the 80s. Honey, do those deer look normal to you? Look out on the lawn. Do they look normal? I mean, I've seen deer before. Sorry. When I let's see, how does this go again? Is it B, C, B minor, no, it's B minor, E. Shit, I'm out of tune. Off times at the airport. What? Sorry. Thank you, Christina. And again, thank you, Diana, for the super chat. I got a new phone, and now my membership has started back from the beginning. Why? Oh, I don't know. Did you start a new account? That seems strange. On YouTube, you mean? Either way, we're glad to have you. I whenever pictures, do anybody else do this where pictures pop up in your feed and you immediately go, "Ooh, check this out. Ooh, what was that? What was that? What was I? What did I just play? What did I just play? What did I just play?" I narrate them like, "All right, one more picture, but then I have to go back to being a gnome." Um, I get it. I just got it. Yeah, it's like, I heard you told that joke earlier, and I just got it just now. Yeah. Only you can prevent beard fires. Hey guys, look what I just learned. Ding, 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 ding. 3 years later, he would buy a car with that song. It hurts to smile. Um, Hi. This is a second runner-up in the Hugh Grant lookalike contest. Stand over by that plant. No, get closer to it. It's not reaching for you. Don't worry. Are you sure? All right. I've got rainbow hair. This is like George Harrison's turn at being a poorly described serial killer. Yeah, so he passed in 2001. Am I wrong though? Little Hugh Grant situation happening here. I mean, they are British, and they do. There should be a like a BAF museum for people who just look British as fuck, like like Benedict Cumberbatch and Hugh Grant. You know what I mean? And Eric Idle just look British as fuck. Oh, Charlie Kirk, the man with the smallest face on the biggest head. Oh, this is yeah. See, I mean, it's interesting, and I think it's just kind of a straight on thing. I have a wide head too. Yeah. Deleted Squid Game at Turning Point sent 80 buses of Patriots to to DC on January 6th because of diet he's going to fold like a paper plate of Thanksgiving leftovers. This is true. This is true. A teams at Trump students and Turning Point Action are honored to help make this happen, sending 80 plus buses full of Patriots to DC to wait, what's that word? What's that word right there? That's an interesting word in this whole thing. Let me take a look at that a little bit bigger. Can you blow that picture up, or do I have to drag it? Yeah, to what for this present? Oh, by the way, so driving to my dad's house out in the sticks. Needless to say, not as Trump country as you might think, but the ones that are still all in. And there's a guy that, because of where the freeway was and where the highway is, where we get off to go to like all the windy roads start. About two corners, you just turn two corners, go past the shopping mall, make a left, make another one, and then you go around a big corner. And here's this dude's house, and in front of it, he has this giant banner that's as wide as like his front porch. It's probably about 10 feet wide, by about 8 feet tall. And it says, Trump, a real American hero. And I have to say, when I'm back there for Christmas, I am very tempted to go knock on his door and ask him some questions. I don't know why Twitter thinks I need to hear a lot about Misha Collins. I don't. I mean, yeah. This always happens. Apparently, they think I want to look at Jensen Ackles as well. Report tweet. Nope. And that's not Stephen King. All right. Relish today, catch up tomorrow. I commented on this when he posted this picture a long time ago. I said this tweet is violence. Boy. Just stepping on a rake of people just firebombing each other. Rip Twitter. Everybody's moving to Parler because Dorsey's stepping down. How far-right extremist groups face exposure from an army of hacktivists. Oh, yeah, because Parler got hacked. Here's the big brouhaha about Trumpers are pissed because Jimmy's post was censored and they're threatening to leave Parler because of it. Oh, sensitive content, show content anyways. Oh, so good. Blasted. That was what it was? That's what got censored? That's hilarious. Please explain the censorship. Are you covering for Biden too? This is the first time I've seen something market sensitive. I'm still wondering why, but was. Why, but was? Still wondering why, but was. I'm still wondering why, but was. We're all wondering why, but was. In our heads, that's what I think all the time. Why, but was. People are too sensitive to hear that Biden is a liar. Truth hurts, I guess. Well, what the living shit is Parler doing labeling the damn truth as fucking sensitive? Judge Janine and Jim Jordan are sensitive content? Are you fucking kidding me? I thought I could expect more from Parler. Do better. Do better. Don't you mean be best? Be best. So much for Parler being pro-free speech. Must be controlled by Twitter fact-checkers. Shake my head. Dear Parler, you are wrong. Bye. Why exactly would Parler put a sensitive content advisory on an interview that didn't even more? Dude, wrap it up. Wrap it up. We all get it. Wrap it. Yay! Welcome to Patreon number 711. Now Patreon can be open all night. By the way, an annual subscription to my Parler, listen to me, Jesus, my Patreon page would be I don't actually have a Parler. I should get one though. I should probably set one up as a ghost account just so we can poke around and see what's going on there. I do have a Telegram account, but it scares the shit out of me. Like I go on there and it's just creepy because it feels like regular messaging, you know, kind of WhatsApp-y. And those, yeah. What happened to free speech, Parler? You guys are fucking yourselves. When Truth Social starts, I'm out of here. Bye, Parler, assholes. Hey, Parler, what the fuck? Zuck turd in that pussy from Twatter own you? What the what? Oh, it's so good. And there's Ali Akbar, who is going to comply with his subpoena. He got subpoenaed. If the Parler app is working the way, I see. This is the right take. I've been telling people here. Jack Dorsey is not your enemy. He's a prisoner at his own company. Good thing the Parler app is finally working properly and looks amazing. The communists will fully run Twitter soon. All right, see. Not a Jack Dorsey fan, but this means censorship is about to get much worse at twitter.com. Stepping down. Yeah, no. Reminder, Candace Owens' husband is the CEO of Parler. It looks so good. Guys, yeah, that sounds like something a mate would say to their mate about it. Holly ass in jail? That's funny. Suze, that's great. Hi, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Belated. Mike Pill almost had me feeling sorry for him last night. Almost. We'll be looking at some of that later today. I've got to isolate some of it because there's no way we're doing 96 hours. And I know I do long form stuff, but I mean, there's got to be a line, for God's sake. Honey, it looks amazing. Like, you know what I mean? Doesn't that sound like that? It sounds like something you'd say to when your husband or your wife owns. Honey, it looks amazing. You've done such good work. Yeah, go spend more time on it. Rip Twitter standing because right wingers think the new CEO is woke. Parler is Twitter for racist clowns. Exactly. Oh, I see. Everybody's just answering her tweet. I see. crazy. Oh, Kate Blanchett. Yeah. She does some amazing work. Um, no question. Bridgerton. It's so funny because I know almost none of her TV work. Hi. You taking up? Okay, hold on. Love you. Love you. Have a good day at work. Love you. Bye. Excuse me. I do. Kiss the girl goodbye. All right. The Gift is a great. Yeah, The Gift is weird. I enjoyed it, but it's a very strange movie, I have to say. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find something. Whoops. Oh, I typed it in the wrong thing. Quit it. Yeah. Hold on one second. Yeah. One of my favorite ones, I'm trying to pull this up. Hold on. Is one of my favorite movies of hers is where is it? Is Elizabeth. She's just terrific in it. It's brutal and great and well crafted, and she's fantastic. And the end. Yeah. And in I I don't mind my historical giving a shit about monarchies literally ends at the Revolutionary War, and then I don't want to hear from them anymore. If you're a monarch past the the Revolutionary War, I don't care. But previous to that, it's interesting to know the dynamics that created the situations that ultimately led to, you know, the the dumping of monarchy as a way. It's weird. Like here, hold on. They have all these Sandra Bullock staring at Kate Blanchett appreciation tweet. These are all the times when she's just looking at her. It's like checking to see what she's doing. Now I think most of the time she looks like she's just about to laugh, but there's a lot of that. There's a bunch of pictures of people looking at her, just staring at her. That should become more of a thing. Morag's obsession with Kate Blanchett's lip supremacy. Oh, good lord. Giving me teacher vibes. I love. I've done some of these kind of photo shoots in my life, and they are ridiculous endeavors. And I will do more of them. I insist. Um, an Oasis tribute banner among those trapped at Britain's highest pub, the Tannin, and actually due to heavy snowfall. Oh God. And they're just like, how many times can you hear Wonderwall or whatever? Oh dear God. What happened to him? He trekked out into the snow rather than hear Wonderwall one more time. Wonderball? What's the song? Shit, I don't care. And we love Olivia Wilde. We do. We're fans. Um, why is that trending with Olivia Wilde? I don't know. Oh, because Olivia Wilde at Harry's show tonight. I call this one When Notes Are Not Enough. Be a while, be like, yeah. When you only know one person at a party and they're taking a bathroom break. That's hilarious. Oh no. Oh dear. It's a good look. How did he go from like 0 to Barry Manilow in like 2 weeks? Because there's a, I know he's a, sort of a trans trender in that way. And he's just kind of borrowing pop sexuality, which is whatever. You knock yourself out. Being male can encompass nearly all things. Being female can encompass nearly all things. Knock yourself out. There's no narrow bands. But there's a thin line. Yeah. Please tell me he's doing an Elton John song. Nope. Okay. I mean, why does everybody just fall back on the 70s? And what's with the mom pants? Like this, he's wearing his clothes like my grandfather. He really is. That's like my granddad, when his pants started getting that high, 1920s pants, more like 70s pants, 85-year-old pants. Yeah, pulled up to his, come on, Sam, let's go out to the park, It's like, by the way, she was fantastic in Cowboys and Aliens. I enjoyed that thoroughly. And as far as this nonsense, I give it a couple of months. Not because of either there's anything wrong with either one of them, but he's on tour and she's going to get a movie, and that's that. That's the toughest part of all of it. That was Harry Styles, which I'm related to somehow. I have we got a quarter Styles. We got Styles in the family. It's my my dad's mom's family. If that's the new trend, I'm out. Yeah, out of the retirement home. It's so, it's just so hip. I mean, you don't even know. It's so cool. You don't even realize how cool it is. Well, then it's not cool. Cool would be, oh, that's cool. Not, is that cool? Is that what's cool right now? That's cool right now? Okay, it's cool. I guess. Is that cool? I guess. All right, I'm cool with it. You cool with it? I don't know. The Sparks and Style store? Yeah. We spell it with an I, but it's meaningless. It's an Ellis Island thing. I will be seeing Spider-Man No Way Home in a theater. This is true. Ghislaine Maxwell's trial starts today. Irk. Channing Tatum and Steven Soderbergh return for Magic Mike's Last Dance. Oh, good lord. Last Dance. I'm getting too old for this shit. Some recall Pope Francis' support of COVID-19 vaccination video circulated by Catholic Priest Maryland, appearing to reference vaccine mandates in a sermon, saying that no earthly king or president can dictate what we must put in our bodies. Dude, you get fucking measles vaccines all the time. Yes, they can. And they don't dictate what you can do. You just can't go anywhere else if you don't. Good lord. Do you just not give a shit? Like, I'm fairly certain the Pope wouldn't want the entire Catholic population to have died of smallpox ages ago. Yeah, how about the Arbery trial? Yes, turned out exactly as I said it would. And I'm glad. How was you saw Ghostbusters Afterlife this weekend? How was it, Kareen? Isn't there something in Leviticus about that? Yeah. My underwear can't take high-waisted pants. Yeah. Love Daryl Hall, indeed. I'm related to a few famous people, but I'm not giving up my maiden name. Wahaha. Well done, Kath. Don't shine the black light on the wall of Studio 54. It's not going to be pretty. Yes, that you mean the, yeah. Use luminol in there. Not a good idea. Ew. How's everybody's Monday, by the way? And yet another Monday where the world did not end. I don't know if you've noticed. You do recall, let's see. This has got to be able. Let's see. One more. There you go. This is U.S. news. Let's see. How many times was the world supposed to end already? Okay. May 21st, 2011 for transferring into 2021. Harold Camping, right? He said he was, yeah, okay. The hubbub over the mine thing was last year, got some media traction. According to Camping, about 3% of the world's population would be raptured, with the rest suffering through several months of worldwide earthquakes, ultimate destruction on October 21st. That wasn't the first date. The first one was May 31st, and then he forgot to carry the 2, and he punted to October 31st. And then he died because sometimes when you predict the end of the world, it just predicts the end of your world. Womp womp. Hold on. I suppose I should have this called up. Yeah. 82 and /2007. Pat Robertson predicted the world would end in October or November of 1982. Huh. I don't remember that. That was before the TV show, I guess. After that didn't have any, he tried then a decade later in his 1990 book, The New Millennium, he said the world would be destroyed on April 29th, 2007. Turns out he was wrong again. Oh, the world's going to end. Okay. 2000, of course, Y2K. Tim LaHaye and Jerry Jenkins, who wrote the extremely popular Left Behind novels about the rapture, also believed the world was going to end in the year 2000. Others merely worried that the Y2K computer bug, which ultimately didn't cause any problems at all, they thought it was going to reset all the nukes and fire them all at once because they would, and so the guys from the Left Behind novel weren't. Oh, the world didn't end then either. 1980 and 87. Okay, Leland Jensen, head of a sect of Persian religion, Baha'i. Yeah, there's a Baha'i temple on the North Shore of Chicago. It's a very pretty building. Never been inside. Took his followers into nuclear fallout shelters in 1980, claiming there would be a nuclear holocaust. That didn't happen, but he was undeterred. In 1985, Jensen predicted that Halley's Comet would enter Earth's orbit on April 29th. The April 29th is a big one, 87. That's April 29th has got to be some sort of like that's how many days after Hitler's birthday they just decide he's not coming back. The world's got to end. Yeah, 1987 caused earthquakes before ultimately crashing into the earth and killing everyone. That didn't happen. January 1st, the year 500 and 1000, predicting the end of the world in just a recent phenomenon. Early Christians predicted that the world would end on the first day of the year of 500. Everybody loves nice round numbers. They seem to be convinced that Jesus and God and the saints and the angels and the demigods and the comets and all this shit like good round numbers, as if those numbers have any meaning whatsoever. Time is a discovery. Keeping time is an invention. When that didn't happen, the others thought it would occur in the year 1000. And then you can't go straight to 1500 because everybody will think you're a dick. So you had to just wait it out to 2000. Let's see, there's got to be more of those. Planet X, world ending Saturday. This was 2017. Here are 8 times the world was supposed to end and didn't, right? Now, I don't want anybody to get depressed. I'm sure the world will end sometime, probably about, 6 billion years from now. But, hang in there. Saturday is the end of the world. Okay, it's probably not, but David Mead, a Christian and self-published author of End of the World Survival Guide, says so, claiming astronomical, scientific, the Book of Revelation, geopolitics, ideology, laid out in his book Planet X, the 2017 Arrival. Now a comedy book. So you have to understand. I love the movie 2012 because it's one of the greatest comedies ever made. That was made as an adventure drama. Because as the like on January 1st, 2013, it became a comedy. I'm sorry, Melinda. I appreciate you hanging in there. I'm back. I'm here. I'll be here all week. Don't worry about a thing. We'll gather in during the Christmas holidays. I will obviously have Christmas Eve and day off, but I'll more than likely be doing my regular show by hook or by crook, at different houses and bouncing around as I wont to do. That's hilarious, though. Planet X, the 2017 Arrival. How is no one making that into a movie where the guy, he's just being interviewed and somebody's like, so you were just making this shit up as you, you're just talking out of your ass. Was that what this was? Right? No, I really believed it. Nah. We think you were this was kind of like putting a put on a stock and hoping that the fact that you put on the stock would drive other people to think it was crashing and therefore you could cash in. So you just make up a date that the world's going to end and then try to cash in on that date and then punt the date and do it again. He is the latest in a very long line of self-proclaimed prophets who claim they know when, sometimes to the hour. Let's see. While we wait for September 23rd, which the group End Times Prophecies once announced the world would end July 29th, 2016. This is 29 again. What's up with that number? There's got to be something. The math always rounds out to 29 on the day for these folks. Because of something called a polar flip. That's right. The world was supposed to go badunk. Remember that? It was supposed to just the world's going to flip over like a pancake. It's flat anyways. The Lord shall reach down with his spatula from heaven and flip us into the revelation. Right. It turns out, let's see. Because it was predicted the stars would race across the sky, the atmosphere would be pulled along the ground. Turns out such a reversal is a common phenomenon occurring when iron shifts in the Earth's core. This prediction turned out to be a bust, as did the group's prognosis that former President Barack Obama would reveal himself to be the Antichrist. I mean, isn't it... Does the Antichrist reveal themselves to be the Antichrist? I mean, he's still got time, Joe could appoint him to be the head of the UN. That would be in line with the prophecy. Come on. You could drag this shit out for a few more years. Don't give up hope. The E-Bible Fellowship, a Philadelphia-based Christian website run by Chris McCann, predicted the end of the world in correlation with the blood moon. Oh, yeah. Blood moons always make everybody go, because the moon is big and it turns red. So red must be evil because the devil is evil and he's red. The color red is terrible. It's terrible. It's also claimed the world would end on May 21st, 2011. According to what the Bible is presenting, it does appear that 7 October will be the day that God has spoken of, in which the world will pass away. It'll be gone forever, annihilated, pass away, and surrounded by loved ones, I hope. I do think the devil is actually burnt orange, Pooh Ninja. That's a great point. Yeah, that's a good point. MAGA hats are blood moon colored, Yeah. The blood moon, supermoon phenomenon generated several end of the world predictions related to 4 consecutive and complete lunar eclipses occurring at 6-month intervals for about 2 years. Mormon author Julie Rao's apocalyptic musings caused the Mormon Church to issue a statement to USA Today distancing itself from her statements. Hold on to your predictions, though. The blood moon, supermoon will next appear in 2033. April 2014. I don't know. Some people thought it would end. Others think it's the beginning of the end. The blood moon. Yeah, it's another blood moon. Remember this hoopla? Basically, the ancient Mayans who. Oh yeah, 2012. Yeah. Yeah. Never base your end of the world prophecy on a group of people who are gone. Because there's none of them around to go, oh, you're trying to use our calendar? Yeah, no, you have to click the whole thing one step left, and then it starts over again, right? Like that, then it restarts. Oh, yeah, it doesn't end. No. It's duh. Do you get the end of a paper calendar and go, the world's gonna end? No, you buy a new paper calendar. We made it out of stone, and you just do that. There you go. Now you're good for another 3,000 years. Son of a bitch. We were all panicking. Well, you shouldn't have let us murder ourselves. You shouldn't have let us continue human sacrifice to a point where there were very few of us, and then let the Spanish accidentally give us smallpox while we accidentally gave them syphilis. How does that Sorry, how does the calendar work again? The Mayans chuckled. What? Let's see. NASA's recap of the comet of Lennon. Fascination explains it all. Somehow quickly can cause a celeb for a few internet bloggers who proclaim this minor comet should be responsible for causing any number of disasters befall the planet. NASA's response was to such wild speculation was then in turn speculated to be an attempt to hide the truth. Of course, there's Harold Camping again. Yeah, he died at 92. The computers can't handle extra. Yeah, and then Y2K, right? And we're not. World's not ending. Sorry, it's not gonna end anytime soon. It's gonna go right on turning. Oh, everybody's jumping parlor for Getter and Truther. Hold on a second. It's probably not available. Whoops. That's not what I want. I don't want network lessons. Mm-hmm. One second. Checking something. Check. Give me a moment. Hang out. Talk amongst yourselves. Doing a search. Rats. Let's see. Oh, that's a good one. Maybe that's. I was looking for something. Looking up something. Media helped hide the real Biden censoring Hunter stories. Divine New York Post. Media helped hide the real Joe Biden by censoring Hunter stories. This time, plumbing problems, especially among independents. Yeah, not at all. Boring. Getter. The final variant is called communism. Getter. We have to fight cancel culture. We have to fight for free speech. Getter. Find me on Getter where we can speak freely without being censored. Okay. Yeah, let me check something real quick, if I may. Let's see. Getter terms of service. Getter USA, using assessing your knowledge and agree that you have read, understood, and agree to be bound by the terms. They acknowledge you will read the terms of legal rights, responsibilities. Please note nothing is you do not wish to be bound by these terms, and you should cease use and access of the service. Uninstall any of our mobile applications. If you are a registered user in the service, delete your account. In some instances, you may be subject to say ownership. Your rights to use the service and content. The service and all of its content collectively include all copyrights, patents, trademarks, are owned or controlled by Getter, our licensors. All right title, your rights to access and use service and content. What about your shit? Rights of others. And using the service must respect the intellectual property rights of others and Getter. Your unauthorized use of content may violate the rights. Reservations of all rights not granted as service content. These terms are not expressly granted third-party services. Content you submit and user-generated content may now or in the future offer users of the service opportunity to create, build, post, upload, blah, blah, through third-party platforms, blah, blah, blah. Sound, music, videos, personally identifiable information, other information, but excluding Getter licensed elements, including therein UGC. You may submit UGC through your profile forms, blah, 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 blah. Except as otherwise prescribed in service post privacy policy in Michigan, you agree your UGC will be treated as non-confidential and non-proprietary by us, regardless of whether you mark them confidential, proprietary, or the like, and will not be returned. Anything you post on Getter is owned by Getter. So get her fucked, folks. Man. They just know nobody looks. For all the QAnons that are on these sites, the fact that none of these assholes read 2 paragraphs down. Let's see. To maximize the problem, Getter does not assume any obligation or any kind of third party with respect to your UGC upon request. Okay, license to Getter of your UGC, except as otherwise described in any applicable additional terms, which specifically govern your UGC. User-generated content, by the way. That's any picture you post, any video, anything at all. Or in our privacy bill, you hereby grant Getter the non-exclusive, unrestricted, unconditional, unlimited, worldwide, irrevocable, perpetual, and cost-free right and license to use, copy, record, distribute, reproduce, disclose, sell, resell, sub-license through multiple levels, display, publicly perform, transmit, publish, broadcast, translate, make derivative works of, and otherwise use and exploit in any manner whatsoever all or any portion of your user-generated content and derivative works there for any purpose whatsoever in all formats, on or through any means or medium known or hereafter developed, and with any technology or devices now known or hereafter developed, and to advertise, market, and promote the same without limitation. Holy shit. The granted rights include the rights to A, configure, host, index, cache, archive, store, digitize, compress, optimize, modify, reformat, edit, adapt, publish in searchable format, and remove such UGC and combine same with other materials, and B, use any ideas, concepts, know-how, or techniques contained in any UGC for any purposes whatsoever, including developing, producing, and marketing products or other services. So if you have a great idea, holy shit, they're just going to steal all of it. Christ almighty. I gotta steal this for later. I'm gonna need to send a... Good God. You understand that in such rights... Oh, shit. You understand that in exercising such rights, metadata, notices, and content may be removed or altered, including copyright management information, and you consent thereto and represent and warrant you have all necessary authority to do so in order to further affect the rights and licenses to that you grant to Getter. So anything you post, you're saying you retain the responsibility for copyright infringement. Getter holds freedom of speech as its core value and does not wish to censor your opinions. Nonetheless, Getter may, but will not have any obligation to, review, monitor, display, post, store, maintain, accept, or otherwise make use of any of your UGC, and Getter may, in its sole discretion, reject, delete, move, reformat, remove, or refuse to post or otherwise make use of your UGC without notice or any liability to you or any third party in connection with our operation of UGC venues in an appropriate manner, such as to enhance accessibility of UGC, address copyright infringement, and protect users from harmful UGC. Oh, there it is. There it is. Protect users from harmful UGC. Harmful user-generated content. Oh dear, Getter worries that content can be harmful. Now, what was that? Where are all those memes about lefties thinking words are violence and images are violence and shit like that, right? Nonetheless is my favorite part of that. Without limitation, we may, but do not commit to, do so address content that comes to our attention that we believe is offensive, obscene, lewd, lascivious, filthy, pornographic, violent, harassing, threatening, abusive, illegal, or otherwise objectionable or inappropriate, or to enforce the rights of third parties or these terms on any applicable additional terms. For example, this may include content identified as personal bullying, sexual abuse of a child, attacking any religion or race. Oh, well, there goes almost all of the Getter content. Or content containing video or depictions of beheadings. All right. This seems a little specific, guys. Remember how we were saying that these guys are like, we believe in free speech, totally unfettered free speech, nothing but free speech, no limits on free speech. Oh shit, we're full of beheading videos. Actually, you may upload or otherwise submit to us to UGC. You may not upload, embed, post, email, transmit, or otherwise make available any material that infringes any copyright, patent, trademark, trade secret, or other proprietary rights to any person or entity, which means government secrets, that kind of stuff. Any copyrighted or proprietary UGC distributed with the consent of a copyright owner should contain the phrase such as copyright owned by blah blah blah, used by permission. Which gives, by the way, Getter, through the fact that you signed up, the permission to use that copyrighted shit for their own shit later. We are entitled to presume that all UGC conforms to the foregoing requirements. The unauthorized submission of copyrighted or other materials is illegal and could subject the user to personal liability for damages in a civil suit as well as criminal prosecution. They're just going to assume it. They're not even going to broom it. You may not upload in bed. Is Getter new from the nut right wing? It's not new. It's been around for a bit. I just love that whole, like, of freedom. We believe in total freedom. But no beheading videos. Stop it. Excuse me. Let's see. Class action waiver. So you can't be involved. There can be no class action lawsuits against Getter. So you say, hey, you said yes. You signed up for this shit. Yeah, we own your content, but you'll go to court over it. Exactly. Isn't that amazing? As permitted by applicable law, the parties hereby waive their right to a jury trial. Jesus Christ. Small claims. A lot of these kind of things show up in all of these things we automatically acknowledge. It's only particularly funny that these folks are like, freedom! It's freedom! Freedom for everyone! Except subparagraph 3, carry the 2, section 9 of clause 4. Indemnity. It's all on you, bitches. That's what that's going to say. Operation of the service. Getter controls and operates the service from the U.S. and makes no representation that the service are appropriate or available for use beyond the U.S. We will censor our stuff if China will let us in, because cha-ching. Export controls. You're responsible for complying with all applicable trade regulations and laws, both foreign and domestic, except as authorized by U.S. law. You agree and warrant not to export or re-export the software to any country or any person. Yeah, we stole this. You can't steal it from us. Interpretation headings. Yeah. Force majeure. They would have French in here, wouldn't they? I'm not accepting the cookies to keep reading this shit. You out of your mind? Yeah. So that's always a good time. We have to fight cancel culture. We have to fight for free speech. Jason Miller of Getter. You can speak freely without being censored, except when you are, and then when you are, I mean, there's lots of censorship. It's just they don't censor anything we like. That's my favorite kind. It's not said free speech. See, I know it's difficult to run the company day to day. The Dorsey strangling a free speech is why Getter needs to exist. Okay, he's just trolling for business. Oh, Steve Cortez, didn't he just have a show on Newsmax and then lose it in like a week? Getter in Japan. The movement for free speech is global. Learn what? Yeah, this doesn't look like a promo or anything. We chose to do this. Seriously, this just looks like this looks gross. What a weird way to promote something. Right? The hell? And they're paper sashes. Like they're just paying them, hey, wear these things, and like I'm sure they do it with beverages. Why not? Grifter, that's good. It's gonna get a federal magistrate approves Kyle Rittenhouse Son against LeBron James. Yeah, unfortunately, he's probably gonna win that. Sorry, LeBron. And maybe that's why he was so upset the other day and was flipping people off and swearing and tossing out fans. Parlor's table join Getter as is Gap. Yeah, they're all great. Join all of them. Stay on all of them all the time. Do 9 sites at once. Like waste all of your time. We're on the brink of collapse. What 80 Ontario nurses is to say about the state of profession in crisis, right? Because nurses are treated like crap, and then yeah. Walker updates. What? I don't know. Again, what are you telling me? Twitter. I don't get it. Anyways, so that's our look at what's trending this morning. By God, yeah, I don't know. The stuff that Twitter wants me to look at is very funny. 9 sites before we be on the site. One site to rule them all. Well, that's what they're trying with Meta. That's what the metaverse thing is all about, right? Go back to Matt Crouch on Getter. What do you guys think? Hi Maria. The fan said they hope he dies. Who? They said it to LeBron. Yikes. I'm sure he's going to be okay as one of the few sports figures who's had fans yell from the stands that you should die. I'm sure that's never happened in a sporting event with great regularity ever. Cortez was thanks Naked Bats FF. Cortez was at Newsmax for about 6 months. I swear to God, it was like an afternoon. His rating sucked and they bounced him. How bad do you have to be for them to kick you off Newsmax? All their ratings suck. Oh, thanks for grabbing the clip, Amy. That's great. You're my, my architect should not use drugs. My dad's an architect, so that's probably where that joke came from. Yeah. And this afternoon, we will obviously be catching up with some of the Michael Lindell stuff. God, I've got to find some chunks of that are worth diving into that aren't just miserable for the rest of us. And a couple of people grab some stuff. I know I think I can download them because he allows you to download just about everything else. So he probably cuts hours out of that at Lindell or at Frank, whatever. Yeah, there's a bunch of this. Oh, there's a Black Friday sale as well. Does he get these? Okay, can you download this? Is that what that means?
Hello, everyone.
Hi. This is a happy man. We'll do this. We'll do a chunk of this later. Oh God, it's just gonna be horrifying. I know it. Hold on, I'll show you. This guy right here. Thanks-a-thon. Oh God. Oh, terrible. The Hanksathon. We'll have a Sparks-a-thon coming up. I have no doubt. That'll be my my subathon. Will be called the Sparks-a-thon. Just brutal. By the way, the morning show, if you're new and you haven't seen this before, we just kind of hang out and go through what's kind of present in the world around us, and look at the trends and the tendency for people to like do a doom scrolling wake and bake when it comes to social media, I think requires some pushback. I think it's necessary that I actually call bullshit on a bunch of this stuff and be there. Sparks-a-Palooza, that's a good one. Yeah. Was Crackathon taken? Probably. So in these morning shows, we can at least kind of, I guess, look at these trends and kind of distance ourselves from the overt, fear and like worry and anxiety that shows up because people check these things and they're like, oh my God, it's the whole thing it's collapsing, and like, for fuck's sake, people. It's I know people want the world to end, and I know they desperately cry out for the world to end, but it's just not gonna happen, kids. Sorry. It's gonna keep on rolling along, so it's up to us, those of us that do not fear complexity, to keep cranking. That's right, sparks of positivity. Thank you. I try. Infotain me, Hal. I try. I really do. Stop the airplanes. The airplanes spread the virus. Hal, you have to find something about Trump's black belt. Well, we did. We covered that, which was pretty hilarious. All there is to it is that it's honorary and it means nothing. Yeah. So. Somebody's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor. Open the door. Let him in. It's one of those moments where you're like, what's going on? What's happening? Who could it be? Very seldom have to... Oh, processing video might take a few minutes. That doesn't help me, kids. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. We're good. Ethan going to school. Well, it's important. So many people go from 0 to 100 right over a cliff. No balanced perspective. That's right, Kat. I believe that you have a moral and ethical responsibility to be as empathetic to and emotionally driven by a subject matter as you possibly can and still be useful. Anything more than that is about you. I believe it's an act of ego. And that's one of the biggest things about like social media posturing, both right and left. You know what I mean? The Republicans have to show fealty to Trump. They have to posture. They have to, jump through their shirts about, the vice president buying a pan, because they have to be seen as covering for the 352 years of presidential salary that Trump spent on golfing. Yeah, they definitely have Trump PTSD. I think that's there. I would argue that there's a low-lying sort of societal PTSD that happens with people living longer and being more connected. I was making the list of things. Like my grandparents' generation went through, born around World War I, went through World War II, experienced Vietnam, but then kind of 2 decades of like nothing was worse than that, and the ongoing Cold War was of concern, but they were over it, kind of. They had already been through their war, and nothing could compete with that. And in our lives, in Gen X's life and beyond, you've got a lot of you got a stack of difficulties that have happened. Cold War, AIDS. In my case, the LA riots and the Rodney King related riots across the country, and the earthquake that followed shortly thereafter. 2001, the 9/11, and then 2008, the crash, and then, for a lot of people on both sides of the aisle, the Trump presidency, but then also COVID. There's been a stacking of these things, and there's a reason why I think a lot of people have just this kind of ongoing, low-level misery about it. And you just got to recognize you've been through a bunch of stuff. Yeah, the tower's coming down. Yeah. There's got to be you got to recognize that you've been through some stuff, cut yourself some slack, but then also don't let it overwhelm you. Yeah. They all blend together for me, the earthquakes and the riots. Point is, it's a lot. It's a lot for people to deal with, and they stack a lot. And then we add to our own problems by creating internal social problems. And then, of course, there have been a lot of foreign actors who have recognized our particular weakness because of the freedoms that we have to be susceptible to those kind of attacks. And so they've been messing with us for a good long while. They, the like Trumpies, hold on one second. And the Trump supporting foreign powers, as they were, recognized that they could benefit from basically trolling Americans using, issues that they knew we would be more sympathetic to. Yeah, here we go. And when their people don't give a crap. And so you can take these things that are important, but are not at a crisis level, and drive them up to a crisis perception level, and thereby give everybody, low-grade anxiety all the time. Being a Democrat is harder than being a Republican. Democrats have to disprove falsehoods on the Republican side, then prove their point. The Republicans just continuously lie, creating a vast gap between fact and fiction. It's exhausting how vindictive and idiotic the messaging is. Agreed. And Democrats also juggle the idea of inclusivity. And that's where, like, you guys know my feeling on diversity and inclusivity. Diversity and inclusivity is not just going out and finding someone who's a different color or religion than you that already agrees with you. That's not diversity. Unfortunately. Sorry, guys. You got to take it part and parcel. And they've got to take it part and parcel as well. Because the mix of diversity means anybody gets to be called on their bullshit. Otherwise, it's not diversity. Yeah. It's just kind of a weird, like, it's just like a ping pong ball of social attack. I know it's a little early, but as far as Christmas goes, Hal, I want a hula hoop. Sure, I understand that. And it's never too early. Merry Christmas, everybody. Love you. Merry Christmas. And dump. Trump has martial farts that are deadly. Yes, this is true. I'm about to post that on Twitter. I'm trying to find the Getter thing on there. Oops. Let's see if let's see anything. Let's see. How do we word this? The art of tweeting, as it were. Anything to keep people from reading the Getter TOS. And then we take this picture and let's see. We have this guy. I think I have to save it as a export. Yeah. As a JPEG, something like that. Yeah, that'll work. And then we save it to the desktop. Good times. What did I do? Just hanging out. There we go. Bunch of files. Boink. Anything, and I think a little, I guess. Form. I always do that. Anybody do that? Anybody in their speed typing type form instead of from all the time? I always have to go back and look at my froms. Tweet. Oh my God, I forgot how funny that was. This dude, this thing. Shit. I still have that picture. This Sean Spicer on everybody's iPod Nano from 2015, 2012. Yeah. Yeah, my froms are always a problem. It's just one of the I get way ahead of myself. I also am a big double caps guy. I'll double caps the first two letters. It is TMI, you're right. I shouldn't. It's a shame. It's shameful. I shouldn't even. Oh, thanks, Ron. I appreciate it. I try. But it really is important, folks, that you have a perspective on stuff that has some legs and that you infuse everything you're seeing with a certain amount of healthy optimism, because there's a thin line between optimism and realism and pessimism. And a lot of people in an effort to be realistic, they tend to overemphasize the downside because there's nothing. A lot of times the upside just doesn't appear cool. It's why we've chased villains in media and all this shit. It's just ridiculous. So, you guys know with me, I believe it's a moral obligation. I don't believe in just, the theory that, a little bit of Pollyanna is good for everybody. I mean, I genuinely, I think it's required that you infuse your methods and your philosophical beliefs and stuff with a certain level of hope, because you'll lose your driving force internally, and then you'll also you'll bum everybody out. Uh, had 5 days off, still wasn't near enough. I know how you feel, but mine was good. This break actually was nice for me. So it was good to be able to hang out with the family and stuff, and with everybody in the last year and a half, and the number of people that have passed, and the people who are concerned about making it through, and every time we turn around, there might be a new awful around the corner. Um, these times spent with family mean even more. I read something fascinating, and it's kind of it's been sort of stuck in my head. Let's see if I can pull it up on my iBooks in here. There's a book called Thinking Fast and Slow that I'm sure Malcolm Nance has read and stuff. It's a lot of people who in the CIA read it because it teaches you about the two ways that your brain works. Your brain has like basically two gears: fast, which is intuitive, which often will use regular occurrences to draw quick inference, and then you can move on. And then there's these the second brain is the one that stops and breaks stuff down and sort of studies it and spell checks, as it were. There was a really fascinating line in here. I'm going to see if I can bring it up. Yeah. So in the QAnon related stuff, there was this thing in here that I thought kind of stood out to me, which was individuals. So they do these puzzles to see whether your brain will jump to the right answer, or you just kind of blow them off and move ahead. And then a lot of times the people who do that consistently, even if they're very smart, their rational mind will jump past one because they're kind of in a hurry all the time. And it feeds into the laziness of the second system of thinking, that it doesn't want to expend the energy of doing the extra work. So you just jump quite quickly to it. And so people who uncritically follow their intuitions about puzzles are also prone to accept other suggestions from system one, meaning that you're more apt to be gullible if you believe your intuition about complex problems are always right, and you just assume your answer was right and never check. And so that sentence to me jumped out as kind of an explanation of the QAnon crowd. It read very much like those folks. And there was another, let's see, because I went through this and I made a couple of, because like they go to these puzzles, like a bat and a ball costs $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Most people say 10 cents. The answer is 5 cents. But people will jump into that, and then they will kind of fight for, no, it's 51, no, 50, okay, 60 cents. They'll go back into that that's when you hop into system 2 to go, something's not right. Yeah. When people, this one's not as good an example. All roses are flowers. Some flowers fade quickly. Therefore, some roses fade quickly. Not necessarily true, because most flowers aren't roses. I mean, that's the issue. So, and then there's this weird one about how many murders occur in the state of Michigan in 1 year, and people who know that Detroit is in Michigan overestimate the number. People who don't just go by the state underestimate that kind of stuff. So that's your system one automatically jumping to that. And people who are like flat earthers or QAnon people are all system one all the time. And they what they do is they speed through stuff that gives the illusion that they're using system two, that they're using their thinking mind, when what they're really doing is like skipping rocks through the whole thing, as opposed to swimming across the river, as it were. It has a lot to do with Dunning-Kruger in that regard, but it's really more of a knee-jerk reaction that people have internally. Dunning-Kruger is an argumentative format, like a trick of arguing a false premise. But this is internal. And so one of the things that they pointed out was, and it's got to be up here, bananas vomit. There's, it was funny because they totally misdescribed. Basically, they put two words and they automatically check what your brain will. They go, well, you probably envision someone. You went through the thing. You didn't like the images. It was unpleasant. It was you probably pictured. And what's interesting is that's all based on the assumptions of test subjects or whatever. When I read bananas vomit, I pictured something funny, which was a banana puking something up, and it didn't upset me at all. And it's like your sweat glands were activated. In short, you responded to the disgusting word, and the attenuated version, how you react to the actual event. All this was completely automatic, beyond your control. My automatic response was not that that's awful. My automatic response was that's a joke, and that's tempered by my secondary system, which is to always look for a joke. And over time became nature. Yeah, exactly. I went to bananas vomit. A lot of people did that right away. So, in an inquiry concerning human understanding published in 1748, the Scottish philosopher David Hume could outconsume Schopenhauer and Hegel, right? Reduced the principles of association to three: resemblance, contiguity in time and place, and causality. Our concept of association may change radically since Hume's days, but his three principles still provide a good start. So we're primed for things that resemble stuff we've seen before, have continuity with what we're experiencing right now. So they're kind of the flow of the river, not a break in the river, and causality, if we can understand where it comes from. Yeah, this is thinking fast and slow. Yeah. K-Link. It's good. I'm enjoying it. But there was I want to say that I can't remember if I bookmarked that point or where is it? Anyways, one of the things that it said is that people who are overwhelmed with complex thought, if you give someone if they have to do math in their head, they can't make a left turn in the car if it's 2 digits and they have to be multiplied. They can't make a left in the car and do that at the same time, because your pupils dilate, your balance will be off. It takes too much stuff. There's a real dichotomy in those two moments, unless you're, of course, but most people. And one of the things that they said is that the people in the studies that they did, which I found fascinating, was that people that are cognitively overwhelmed are more apt to make impulsive decisions and judgments. So if you have too much on your mind, you are more apt to fall back to the priming, to the resemblance, contiguity in time and place, and causality. You will automatically assume that it must follow what you believed followed before. So suspicious people become more suspicious. Paranoid people become more paranoid. And the QAnons and the people, like Eddie Bravo, I think, who was the guy on Rogan's podcast who thought the earth was flat and there was no convincing him otherwise. He was so far down that hole that his system one for everything was just, he would attack everything with system one under the illusion he was using system two. So, and you're more apt to do that if you're overwhelmed. So if it's too much to think about, if life becomes too complex for you, you're more apt to make impulsive decisions. And that explains a whole hell of a lot. I don't like it when they break up the page. Hold on, maybe if I. But yeah, put it on a bigger. So, David Hume, resemblance, contiguity in time and place, and causality. So the mechanism that causes these mental events has been known for a long time. It's the association of ideas. We all understand from experience that ideas follow each other in our conscious mind in a fairly orderly way. The British philosopher of the 17th and 18th centuries Search for the rules that explain such sequences. Our concept of association has changed radically since Hume's days, but it stays there. Okay. There is, let's see. Yeah, it might be in here. In his view, superficial or lazy thinking is a flaw of the reflective mind. That's the pulling back into the first method of thinking, because the second requires too much work. So, yeah, well, like attracts like because you assume it will. And we had, interestingly enough, a fascinating conversation, and I'll leave it on this because I got about 10 minutes left. My 10-year-old son and I have had an ongoing conversation about the concept of math being invented or discovered. Now, I believe that it's an invention, and therefore, as an invention, it does not have the right to make up fundamentals that do not exist and claim they do. So this is like what would be regarded as set theory back in the day. Hold on. I'm going to try and bring up something that can kind of... It's... Let's see if Stanford... Yeah, here's a Stanford... So, set theory is it's a math theory that's based on kind of the idea that everything is contained within sets, and there's an infinite number of sets, and even the infinite number of sets can be contained in a set of infinite sets and that kind of stuff. And I have to say, like, the baseline absurdity of that is just silly. First of all, infinity in and of itself is not contained within a set. It is an infinite thing. It is not a unit of measurement. It is a unit of beyond measurement. It is the assumption of the inability to measure some things because they are immeasurable. Something that never ends is not measurable. Yeah. And set theory was all based on this idea that math is discovered, that it is intrinsically in the universe. And people like that are the ones who gave us leap year. Yeah. And it's great when you have a 10-year-old to have concept conversations about this stuff. But the idea that, and I agree, math is a language. Somebody just said that in the chat. Who said that? There's a troll. I don't care. We like trolls around here. We don't care. They don't bother us. Every time they type something, they tell the algorithm that I'm engaging. So that is okay. Any Oculus 2 experts? The Quest 2, you mean? Gambit Mojo? The Oculus Quest 2? Thanks, Betty. I appreciate it. What's next? An MTG variant? Yeah, that's what it'll be later. Math is a language of nerds? Sure. Infinity. Right, you could just make infinity symbols, but it doesn't change the existence of infinity. You can again, that's what makes it invented. Not that is what I would regard as set theory itself is proof that math is invented. And the example I used when I was talking to Cam was, and I know I'm probably boring the shit out of you guys this morning, but is that we had two glasses on the table. The fact that these two glasses exist is immaterial to either glass, what's in them, how they got there, or any other aspect. The only thing that matters that creates a caring that there's two of them is the fact that I'm numbering them. That's an invention. By themselves, they are glasses sitting on a table. The plurality of it and the numeric plurality of it is meaningless, except that I choose to make it meaningful. Therefore, the very description of an invention. So it was really nice because Cam had been watching a bunch of stuff about sort of like set theory, where they were talking, like some YouTube video where people were talking about at his mom's or something about, you know, an infinite number of infinities. And I'm like, there's no infinity plus one, because infinity absorbs the one and becomes a single infinity. There isn't anything beyond infinity because infinity is not a set. And so the concept of it is just ridiculous. It's just silly. And pi is a great example of that. The fact that it's got 1,000 places in and of itself means that it's not intrinsically in something. So it is part of our measurement, and it doesn't fit perfectly. And the number of numbers that we're adding on the tail of it is us trying to make it fit. You know, we've got a round peg and a round hole, but the round peg is too big for the round hole, so we're trying to shave the sides of it to get it to fit in there. So square root of -1 is an imaginary number. Yeah. So I find in dealing with, you know, we talk about percentages all the time, and that's what really made me dive into this, both into statistics, set theory, and math as an invention, and the thinking fast and slow. It all kind of follows. Nice, Robin. It all follows this idea that all of our problems are inventions, as are the solutions. So the question is does that affect your interpretation of when someone presents you with a numerical fact about anything from temperature, you know, and climate change, statistics, inflation, monetary policy, and the like? Because it should. It should. You should recognize that in terms of mathematical measurement, there's functional math that we can use. But beyond that, there's no there in terms of, you know, how much manipulation you can do of it to fit what you want. And, you know, don't get me started on dark matter, but the irony that scientists now are trying to make, you know, to understand dark matter, decide if it actually exists, or back and forth. And these are the very same people who made fun of early scientists for talking about the ethers, that there was an ether between everything else, that there was an intrinsic threading essence between all this stuff. And they're like, that's crazy, superstitious bullshit. And now they just call it dark matter, when there's empirically, philosophically speaking, there's no difference between the discussion about the ethers and dark matter. It's just a different word. Wait, don't get you started on dark. Yeah, sorry. I get myself started on it. Yeah. String theory is garbage. Oh, that was your Fibonacci code, right? The sequence, right? It's called air. Well, not in space. It's not, because there isn't any. What about the force? I would argue that, you know, there's a thin line between people, how they talk about dark matter and how they talk about the ethers, and how the force came to be as a, you know, as a singular unit that binds and connects all things. I mean, what else is that, right? Just one came from a work of fiction. It's kind of like when you talk about cyberpunk. It's a concept that came from fiction, but we get what it means in the material sense. And as people start adapting their bodies to, you know, scientific advancements, and as the metaverse emerges and people start getting implants, and all that stuff's coming. It's all going to happen. As it happens, the concepts laid out in the cyberpunk, you know, cautionary tales, and the, you know, the positive stuff are all going to end up playing out in a way that makes that what was initially a fictional idea, like the force. House, please explain the bat and the ball. Oh, the bat costs $1 more than the ball, and both of them together cost $1.10. So the ball costs a nickel, and the bat costs a nickel plus $1. $1 more than the ball, right? Get it? So that, and again, that's it. It'll mess with you, and you have to recognize that when the impulse to get to a quick answer, especially when it comes to social issues, um, that habit of it's 50, is it 60 cents? Is it a dollar? No, okay, it's a dollar more than the ball, then the ball's 10 cents and it's a dollar, right? Your brain just does that. Well, that's that. Welcome to the news, kids. Welcome to, even, and I don't even, the idea that it's fake news is too simple an explanation as well most of the time. Quite frankly, what we are experiencing is the material ignorance of a lot of reporters and journalists about the world at large and reality, because of the circles that they operate in, and the fact that they are reporters, that they are intrinsically outside a system they are viewing, and trying to be objective about it when that's an impossibility. And then the editors who are trying to make reality, which is increasingly boring, seem interesting enough to click on. And yes, I did say ball. I got to see this ball for a nickel. Well, that's an old problem. Yep. Oh, Stuttering John asked me if I want to come on tomorrow. Should I go on the show? We'll take a poll. I'm inclined to do it. So fundamentally, when you're looking at any of the stuff that's supposed to make you feel a certain way, based on numbers, based on a trend in numbers, because understand, nearly every judgment is made on what has come before. Okay, yes, all right, that seems a plurality. Yeah. Are the bat and ball manscaped? Yes. Are they gambling? Yeah. So, if you learn 10 things a day and forget half of what you learn every night, how long until you know only your name? Never, because you're always in escape velocity. Unless that, I guess the half of what you learn, 2 days, then, right? Because it's all the stuff, the 10 things you're learning, you don't include your name. And see, there's a good system 1 versus system 2. That's a great example. System 2 would say that in 2 days you've forgotten everything you knew before you started learning the 10 new things a day, and the first thing you learned probably was your name. So 2 days you'd lose your name. Yeah. How can you explain the outstanding mathematical problem with renormalization, general relativity? Yeah, how much time you got? Again, general relativity is spackled with dark matter, and that's increasingly its problem, I always lose count. Yes, I am always learning. You have to. You know, real genius. I love toxic waste shirt proves it. Yeah, well, I gotta say, one of my heroes is Chris Knight. I got it, and that should come as no surprise to anyone.
Would you classify that as a launch problem or a design problem?
We love you, Val. That movie breaks my heart, and he's wonderful. The Val movie that's on Amazon right now. And Real Genius is just that's one of my movies that I can shift my mood back on track just by watching it. Hal Einstein will explain all. Good work. We've done away with dark matter anyways. I should hope so. I feel more like I do now when I first got here. Well, thanks, Spocket. Spockalap. And your icon is awesome. I'm a retired teacher. My alter ego is Starbucks from 2004-5 Battlestar Galactica. Oh, it's Starbuck from 2004-5 Battlestar Galactica. That's a good one. Did you see? I posted this thing a while back that that Travis sent me from, let's see if I can find it, from Steph's show, and it's in there. It's got to be in there. There it is. It's been a while. Let's see. He might have texted it to me, so I'll have to find it that way. But he sent me this article about how cosplay makes you a better person. So that was burning people with cigarettes during the island of Dr. Moreau. Yeah. You can't take an actor that's already on the edge and have him hang out with Marlon Brando. It's a fucking mistake. Hal Kilmer, then it works. There's a thin line. I do have some Swedish and Nordic in me, so it mixed. So the Scots basically are all the French, German Celts came up into England and then were attacked by the Vikings and then went, I don't know, you don't seem that bad, and then had kids. Yeah, Island of Dr. Moreau was indeed a shit show all around. Ugh. Yeah, hanging with Marlon Brando. What a now he's one of those interesting things because, you know, it's like considering the Beatles are very popular right now, all of a sudden there's a resurgence because of people watching the show about them breaking up, but the watching, you know, the Beatles, having grown up in a different era of music and liking the music, of course, but not being tuned into the turning point that they were for a lot of people because of my age. It's very similar to the acting that I grew up with, which before Marlon Brando was allegedly more stiff and less personal, and he's the one who kind of brought it to life. In most of the actors I've experienced are, you know, far and away better than he because the tide had shifted as far as the style of acting. And it's kind of like watching CGI from the 90s. Like, it was a huge step forward, you know. Go watch Lawnmower Man or Virtuosity, and it was like, holy shit. And now you're like, that looks awful. Mickey Rourke, yeah. I you know, I love Angel Heart as a movie. But he became one of these, like, the actors that I was like, that dude just doesn't bathe, does he? You know what I mean? Yeah, I love 90s CG too, but it's, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, that's a good question. I just received a question that I have to present an answer to. So I met Alan Parker when he was making Angel Heart in New Orleans. Wow. I mean, it's a great movie. Killing it with these song references. Killing it with these song references. I try. Yeah, I met Alan Parker. Let's see. And again, when you, by the way, there's a math jumpery happening on in the, if you're at a 0.05 and the x is negative, if I read the thing as it's going by properly, you're getting into imaginary numbers. That's the only problem. So, just, you're a teacher, Hal. Face it, a good one. Oh, thanks. Well, you know, my dad is, my family's all teachers. On my dad's side, and my mom's a nurse. But my dad was the black sheep of his family, because he chose to be an architect instead of a teacher. It was unheard of. So, oh dear. There's a Cyber Monday sale at the Prince store. There are very few things I sign up for, hold on. That I sign up for stuff that I get on, and Prince stuff. I signed up for the Prince website to get stuff. I mean, it's an illness. I was just looking something up and my mail opened up on that. Um, hmm. So yeah. Okay, that's not in there. I just think it's yeah, not an architect. Dear God. Yeah. Joe Biden's tree in the White House is nice, switching back from goth theme. Yes. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I know they had a bunch of people. We just saw the Biden as postal worker. Let's see, Biden Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That picture of him was him shopping for Christmas trees for his home. Why is that going to reveal Biden faces? Aw. First lady. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Just like, first of all, let me show you something. So this comes up. First Lady Joe Biden unveils this year's theme for White House Christmas, Gifts from the Heart. And so there's, look at the stockings, and it's all the grandkids. And then a wreath over the White House, and a little grocery store and some other stuff around, a little train track kind of thing. There's a big pretty tree. That's gorgeous. And then look at that. Presents all around the tree, gifts galore. And then I switched on this. Hold on. Let me go back to this. New York Post. White House Christmas decoration is revealed as Biden faces his host of crises. What a dick. That's pretty. The angels all around it. Ooh, yeah, there's like 41 Christmas trees in the White House and around the grounds and all the buildings. That's amazing. See, doesn't that feel nice? That's nice. That is some serious silverware. A little diorama kind of thing. And these have little cards on them, little card tree. That's a good idea. I think I might do this to my house. They're playing the. Look at that. Mueller and Trump were included. Oh, they ended up in the barely. They're both covered by a piece. Somebody can drape this over them. You can see the tree though. That's cool. Oh, that's nice. Like kind of a winter, like frost on the glass kind of a look. Kindness, hope, and joy. What kind of commie bullshit is this? Yep. Lady Bird Johnson. Is that uh a young Eleanor Roosevelt? Who's that? Oh, there's Jimmy. That's an old picture. That's when he fell down. Meanwhile, New York Post. Look at this. Headless body falls out of cannibal's car after crash. A Russian cannibal. I see. And two other men were arrested after police discovered a decapitated body in the scene. Yipes. Hey, New York Post. Maybe put Russian out of Russian cannibal's car after a crash. Peace. Nah, why would you do that? This I'm digging. This is good stuff. This is beautiful. Now that we've recovered from the cannibal moment, I should do more Hellbilly. I will today. I will do. It'll definitely come up. Jesus, look at. I mean, this is what the New York Post is. Basically, what's the what's the British paper that it's not the Daily Mail, I don't think, or whatever, but they're the ones who always have like a a topless woman on page 7 or something like that. Book. Queen Elizabeth's snub prompted Harry and Meghan to quit the royal family. Don't care. Don't care. Not interested. little Thor moment for everybody. All right. Anyways, so I tweeted out our little moment from the Getter terms of service. Good times. All right, I'll let you guys go. It's 13 after 11. The Mirror, yeah, maybe. Is it the Sun? I don't know. They're all tabloids. It seems like all British press are tabloids. And the weird thing is that the Sun, that's it. The Sun has tits. Thank you. Good to know. So I'll know which one to get when I'm over there. This is a trashy tabloid like the Sun. Yes, that's what the New York Post is. It's the American version of the Sun. Then, yeah. Some Valley Hal. Okay, I can totally make that happen. Okay. Yes, and I will see you guys at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you for your support and for subscribing. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for gathering. Thank you for the bits. Mr. Webcast, Show Live, TOH Show Live. Hold on. Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse. It happens. Tweedle, thank you so much. Rage of the Animals, thank you. Hi, Mike Love QAF. Thanks. Deanne, thank you so much for the divine spatula. Diana Turner, thumbs up, everyone. Yes, reminding everybody to thumbs up on your way out. Or if you're a troll, thumbs down on your way out. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, you just help us by being here. And the more you type, the more consequential the show becomes. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And pass that idea of subscription on to everybody you know that it would be, a good addition to the room. I don't mind us being a little exclusive in who we want to subscribe, but we definitely have to get our numbers up this year, so we'll try to do that. But you guys are wonderful. I will hold on. I forgot. I've got to on this version of the show. I've got to turn the music down a touch. There we go. Groove into the rest of our day, and remember. Lesson we learned today is, I'm not worried that any of you are afraid of reading, but never be afraid to read something twice. If it seems a little funky. Yeah, I don't know if I buy that. That occurs to you like that seems a little. Is that true? Like, there's nothing wrong with checking. Double checking. Nothing wrong with that at all. Because being the person in a room full of people who only look once, and you were the one that looked twice or 3 times, you're incredibly helpful. You're very useful. The world needs smart people, Mitch. So, I will see you guys this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Unless that person is Mike Lindell, in which case I would say stay away from him. Would just say, keep your distance. The man is about to snap. And you don't want to be anywhere near that when it happens. You do not. All right. Take care of yourself. Bye, everybody.
That was really cool, by the way.
I love Lamp. We need you. Hell, I need you. I'm a mess without you. I miss you so damn much. I miss being with you. I miss being near you. I miss your laugh. I miss your scent. I miss your musk. When this all gets sorted out, I think you and me should get an apartment together.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President, Mike Pence, and his wonderful wife, Karen.
Butthole!
He thinks I made it up.
Unbelievable.
I was thinking of the immortal words of Socrates, who said, I drank what?
Did have shade.
All I'm offering is the truth.
I'm dead sexy. Well, it's a well-known fact, Sonny Jim, that there's a secret society of the 5 wealthiest people in the world known as the Pentaverate, who run everything in the world, including the newspapers, and meet tri-annually at a secret country mansion in Colorado known as the Meadows.
So who's in this Pentaverate?
The Queen, the Vatican, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, and Colonel Sanders before he went tits up. Leon's getting larger.
Something strange happened to me this morning.
Was it a dream where you see yourself standing in sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at you?
No.
Why am I the only person that has that dream?